Women's tennis world number one, Ash Barty, shocked the sporting world this past week by announcing her immediate retirement from the sport. It is thought the multi-talented sports icon could try her hand at a multitude of other sports, ranging from golf to cricket to Aussie rules football, so it remains to be seen which direction she will go in next. Today, we are discussing what's next for the Aussie star, so don't go anywhere. First up, what happened last week? Stay tuned to find out. Last Wednesday, Barty dropped the bombshell that she would be retiring from professional tennis with immediate effect. She revealed that although the decision was difficult and filled with emotion, she was very thankful and proud of what she had achieved in the sport. She announced the reason she was turning her back on the game was so that she could focus on other challenges, but didn't go into detail about what that might entail. She called the decision scary but exciting before going on to say that there are other dreams that I want to chase after. Although she won't be competing professionally anymore, she will still be involved in the sport and still plans on contributing by focusing on younger girls, younger boys, and throughout the communities. Barty explained that after her true dream of winning Wimbledon was realized last summer, she had nothing left to achieve after adding the Australian Open to her collection this past January, saying that it was the perfect way to bow out of her career in the game. She explained that it takes so much to bring out the best in her, and she just doesn't have that same drive or desire anymore, especially after proving she is the best in the world. Before telling fans that she was spent, she said that she has given all that she can, and she is just ready to bow out on top, which we guess is fair enough. What do you make of Barty's shocking decision? Let us know below. So will the Aussie superstar be returning to cricket? Stay tuned to find out. Well, as we know, Barty shocked fans all over the world last week with her announcement. But what is next for the multi-talented star? Having dominated the world of tennis, it turns out that she has previously had other sporting achievements in her sights. Conceding that she will never stop loving tennis, she told fans she was now ready to get to enjoy the next phase of my life as Ash Barty the person, not Ash Barty the athlete. It had been suggested that Barty was set to take up another sport, but her statement seems to rule that out, which means she might not be returning to cricket, in which she first dabbled after her first tennis retirement back in 2014. Barty featured for the Brisbane Heat and apparently fit into the squad like a natural. Then head coach Andy Richards said, "We had a chat and a coffee and went and hit some balls. She was a bowling machine. She hit 150 balls and probably mistimed 5 or 6. She had never played before. She fit into the squad very quickly and easily." He went on to explain that she was obsessive about the game and in her first season played in 9 of the club's 14 games, scoring 39 runs in her very first outing. Richards later described Barty as a freak for her sporting prowess. Do you remember Barty's cricket stint? What did you think? Let us know below. And what about other sports? Well, Barty's statement seemed to rule out a change to another sport, but celebrities have been known to bend the truth to throw people off the scent before. A career change into golf could be just as likely as a return to cricket, as there are a couple of connections to the sport you might not have been aware of. Her father was a decent amateur golfer, and her fiance is also heavily involved in the sport. He works at the Brisbane Country Club, not far from Barty's hometown. Barty herself said of the sport, "I always used to muck around in the backyard with whatever old clubs I could find. Golf has always been a sport that's come quite naturally to me. I mean, even my mom was a very, very good golfer herself, and her whole family loves to play. I guess if there was one sport that's truly in the Barty genes, it's probably golf, more so than tennis." This is a pretty decent indication of where Barty's future might lie, and when COVID put an end to the WTA Tour back in 2020, Barty spent a lot of time working on her golf swing and now plays off a handicap of 4, which is pretty handy to say the least, something we can only dream of to be fair. Even Tiger Woods commented on Barty's game, saying at an exhibition event back in 2019, "She's got a great swing, are you kidding me?" after Barty had lofted a wedge onto a floating artificial green. I mean, if the king of golf is bigging you up, maybe it's time to get out onto the fairway full time. Are you a golf fan? Let us know below. Next up, Barty has named her 3 favorite opponents. Having recently retired, Barty has now revealed who her favorite opponents were throughout her career. She said that Caroline Wozniacki, Simona Halep, and Petra Kvitova were the 3 names who gave her the best games. Although she didn't enjoy success against Wozniacki, as the Danish player had won all 3 of their meetings, she revealed that the head-to-head success didn't matter. It was the same with Halep, with the Aussie only winning 1 of their 6 meetings, but again, she said she loved testing herself against these women. She fared much better against Kvitova, claiming a 50% win rate, winning 5 and losing 5. Barty said, "They were my 3 favorites. Not great head-to-heads, but for whatever reason, I just loved testing myself against them and loved the fact that no matter the result, it wouldn't change my relationship." She went on to reveal that Halep and Kvitova were the first to message her after she retired, and that they are 2 of her best mates right now, and she will miss them. What a great story. Who is your favorite player right now? Let us know below. Some more tennis news now, starting with Barty's fellow Aussie, Nick Kyrgios. Ever the showman, Nick Kyrgios Kyrgios caught the wrath of court officials during his Miami Open game earlier this week against Jannik Sinner. The Australian received a penalty from officials after smashing his racket in anger after confronting umpire Carlos Bernardes. He had lost the first game of the second set and was in a breakdown when a fan entered the court in the hope of snagging a selfie with the star. Before that, Kyrgios was vocally unhappy about the difference in the grandstand court compared to the stadium court and channeled his inner diva to complain excessively to anyone who would listen. After the umpire's walkie-talkie went off during a rally, Kyrgios decided that was something he couldn't tolerate and put the umpire on blast for his unprofessionalism, ironically. Never the stranger to controversy, Kyrgios had already been warned about his behavior for obscene language earlier in the set, so it seems he was on the warpath from the outset. Things then went from bad to worse as the Aussie continued to rant at the umpire before retreating to a seat, visibly upset. He then smashed his racket and demanded a supervisor come to court to address his concerns. Thanks to his childish outburst, the umpire then slapped him with a game penalty, starting the second set a breakdown. As if this wasn't bad enough for the Aussie, he then had to deal with a court invader who could have chosen his timing a little better in all honesty. Are you a Kyrgios fan? Let us know his best outburst below. And finally, ex-champ Kim Clijsters has apparently thrown shade at Emma Raducanu. British sensation Emma Raducanu shocked the tennis world last year by winning the US Open at the tender age of 18, but it seems she hasn't pleased everyone recently after three-time US Open winner Kim Clijsters appeared to take a swipe at her. Raducanu has struggled for consistency since her big win last autumn, but we must remember she is still only 19 years old. Clijsters was talking about Iga Swiatek's remarkable run to world number 1 and said that it has been beautiful to see Iga grow as a tennis player and that there was a certain type of focus that is on tennis and tennis only. She then appears to throw the young Brit under the bus by saying, "We've seen others that kind of take a step back and say, oh, I've won a slam now. I've made it. There are sponsors coming in and I get treated like a princess wherever I go. Just because you're the number 1 player and have won slams doesn't mean you should treat other people differently." She referenced how her old pal Ash Barty had that laser-like focus as well as Swiatek, but failed to mention Raducanu when handing out props. It was pretty evident she was talking about the young Brit, who also suffered a disappointing loss earlier this week in Miami. She had a great chance to advance with a favorable draw, but appeared to crumble under pressure, unfortunately. What have you made of Raducanu's career so far? As always, thanks for stopping by, and remember to join us next time for some more fun reveals. Bye, guys.